I want to thank
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Summit by Redemption Ride. I'm Jacob. This is my brother.
Michael. How's it going?
We're the brothers behind Redemption Ride, and our mission is to what, Michael?
Our mission is to spread the message of redemption, empowering individuals to overcome life's obstacles, unleashing their full potential.
That's right. And today we're going to be interviewing a special guest. Because last week we interviewed another special guest. And so this week we're going to interview another special guest. You follow me? But today we're going to get to know Michael a little better.
Yeah.
I already know Michael. You guys know probably some things about him, but not everything. Last week he interviewed me about my past with the company, starting it up, a bit of my history, my life, the things I like, things I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to figure out today a bit about what Michael likes and what he doesn't like, and a bit about just his life in general. Yep. Could maybe embarrass him a little bit.
No, I've never
We'll
done anything
see.
embarrassing in my life.
Here, well, let's start there. Michael, what's the most embarrassing thing you can remember doing in life?
Nothing.
You don't remember ever being embarrassed.
No.
You're just a perfect person. I mean, you've made mistakes.
Yeah.
So none of the mistakes were ever embarrassing?
There's a way I like to live my life.
All right, tell me your motto.
And it's called living in blissful ignorance.
Oh, okay.
So you see, whenever I make a mistake, rather than, once I've owned up to it, it's never happened. It never happened.
Okay, but what about in the moment? You were never embarrassed by a mistake you made?
Not that I can remember.
Like all of high school, elementary school, you never embarrassed yourself once.
Not that I can remember.
You never pooped your pants or like...
Oh.
he says, oh.
Okay, so there's one time.
Do you want to share?
Yeah, that's a funny story. Okay, so I was in grade 2, right? And so I don't even remember what it was. I think I was in I don't even remember how it happened, but I pooped my pants, okay?
In class or like...
I don't remember it, but it happened. I pooped my pants really bad. And I had no other spare changes of clothes.
Oh, shoot.
Um,
Get some lost and found or something.
And for some reason, I was at the principal's office, and I was like, man, I pooped my pants. I do not know what to do. And the principal was like, bro, don't worry. I got you. About this principal, he was the greatest guy ever, okay? He gave us fist pumps whenever we passed him in the hallway.
What a cool
I love this man, okay? But pretty much, he was like, I got you, Michael. And he went in the back, and he said, okay, we're going to call your mom. But for now, here, take these. And he gave me his pair of shorts. Not the ones he was wearing, but a spare pair that he had with him.
No way.
Yep. And this
Down to your ankle?
he was not a small guy, okay? He was huge. But he was awesome. So anyway, I went and I wore his pants.
Back to class?
No, I didn't go back to class. But I wore his pants. And I remember my mom came and she was like, she looked at my shirt. She was really confused. And I was like, yeah, they're his. He let me borrow them. And she was like, oh, okay. And then, she brought me back my clothes. And then I changed into my clothes and gave the guy back his shorts. But no, it was
Do you think he washed them before putting them on?
definitely. He definitely washed them because, Yeah, but that's just the time I pooped my pants.
What a dude, though.
Oh, what a guy. I
For
love
real.
this guy.
That's crazy.
He was so cool.
He's a real one. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for starting us with a great embarrassing story there. Oh, Michael. Let's
Jacob.
Let's go back to the beginning. Like, why not? Like, dude, I was how old when you were born? You were born in 2004, right?
You were about
1999, so I was like 4 years old.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was 4 years old at the time, or 5. Might have been 5. And little Michael comes into the world, little cute baby.
Mm-hmm.
Were
The
you
world
chubby?
got just that much better.
Were you a chubby baby?
I don't remember.
I don't remember
I
either. I feel like you...
don't know what I looked like when I was a kid.
No, I think you start off a really tiny baby, and then you're like a bigger of a kid, and then you went back like. Now you're like just shredded.
Absolutely,
Just
this
absolutely
prime human condition.
prime
Yeah,
human specimen.
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so Michael born 2004, right?
Yeah.
What's the earliest memory you have of life in general?
Now, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea.
Just
What
think
my
back as
earliest
far as you
memory
could.
is.
Like, do
feel
you
like-
remember anything from kindergarten?
Yes.
Do you remember anything from like? Did you go to preschool? I don't think you did.
No.
Okay,
Well, I
you
didn't even
were
go to
born-
kindergarten either. I was homeschooled for kindergarten.
Oh, that's right.
This is probably my own earliest memory, because people tell me all the things I did as a kid.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of stuff that I did as a kid.
How you pooped your pants?
That was after. But I think my earliest memory is probably around kindergarten. It's just like, so pretty much. I love Sesame Street. Okay.
Okay. Still to this day.
Haven't watched it in a while, but I'm
sure you would
I'm
love
sure it's so fantastic.
It's probably pretty
if it's still a thing.
Yeah.
Either way, I love Sesame Street as a kid. And I did not know the time that it played at. I did not understand how cable worked at all. All I knew is that if I turned on the TV at around this feeling of time, then that Sesame Street be playing.
Actually, remember that?
I never caught the show when it started, so I always tuned in about halfway through. But I was always able to tune in onto Sesame Street. I forget the time. It might have been like in the morning thing, like around after I ate breakfast is when, if I went downstairs pretty quickly, then I could catch Sesame Street on the TV.
I don't remember you ever watching Sesame Street.
It was so random, but I just knew that if I turned on the TV at around this time, Sesame Street would be on.
That's all. Imagine it was just the same like DVD that was in there, and it just started.
That would be funny, but no, I'm pretty sure it was the TV.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's my
Nice.
earliest memory, is like going downstairs and turning on Sesame Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. All right, so I want to know one more interesting fact about Michael. Actually, I want to share one more interesting fact about Michael before we get into the nitty-gritty of his life and all that entails. But there's a I won't call it a food. There's something that you really enjoy eating with almost everything. And do you just want to share with the world what that is? Like how, it goes on burgers, it goes on, I don't know what else you eat it with, but you used to eat it with, I think, a lot more as a kid, and now you don't eat it with as much stuff anymore. But want to explain?
Yeah, so
What is that thing?
peanut butter's been a big part of my life, in growing up. It's really mentored me,
Yeah.
and kind of helped me understand the ropes of how life should work.
Really?
Yeah, this is what peanut butter has done for me. And
Where did this fascination start with peanut butter and this love for the spread?
for the spread. Yeah, well, pretty much my dad made this sauce. He made this. He's like this. It's like this Asian food.
Yeah.
And on this Asian food, one of them is like this peanut butter pork, and like it's not the sauce isn't like just peanut butter. There's definitely some extra Shazam in there, and it's not the same consistency too,
Yeah.
But man, this stuff slaps. It's so good.
Freaking delicious.
And I was like, in my head, it was like, this is just peanut butter and pork.
Right?
It's got to be good on other things too, right? So next thing I know, I'm putting it on my hamburger, and putting some other sauce on my hamburger and loading it up with all the other things, like some chips, in the hamburger. Man, that's a dream, right?
Dude,
Especially as a
peanut
kid.
butter in the hamburger, I still have to explain that to people whenever they see you.
And man, I'm just like, it's good because, peanut butter and meat just go really good together.
They do.
And I met another guy, okay? And he was like, I met him and his best friend. And his best friend was like, oh, you should tell him about your sandwich. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah. People think it's kind of weird, but I think it's kind of good. He was like, yeah, I really like peanut butter and bologna sandwiches.
Okay.
And I was like, Bro, me too.
Peanut butter and bologna. You used to do that?
Yeah. Well, any meat and peanut butter just goes so well together. So I'd always make this sandwich. Like I would just do like bread, peanut butter, bologna, cheese,
No way.
so like barbecue sauce,
Barbecue sauce.
peanut butter, bread, boom. Like it's simple, and man, does it ever slap. And I even gave it to one of my friends one time. I was like, man, you gotta try this sandwich. And he was like, why does this taste good? He's like, I don't get it, but it tastes good. I said, yeah, it does taste good. And
Wow,
maybe you'll
that's
never
so
get
deep.
it, but it will taste good. So yeah, that's the food
That's the peanut butter.
that's peanut butter.
I actually have some memory of where it started, probably before Dad's peanut nut sauce and stuff that I'm surprised you didn't mention. But we used to do well, you used to do it more. I didn't do it very much. But you guys used to love just you, Mom, maybe Megan, going into the kitchen at our old
Oh.
house, opening up the jar of peanut
That's right.
butter, and just taking a big old spoonful and eating it. And sometimes putting chocolate chips on it, but
Yeah.
most of the time just taking you would go alone and just take spoonfuls of peanut butter and eat it. Call it your peanut butter scoops.
Peanut butter scoops.
And just
I
straight up
forgot.
eat peanut butter out of the freaking
Yeah.
container.
That's wow. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should
Can't
do
believe
that
you
again.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I totally forgot about peanut butter scoops.
Peanut butter.
Love it.
Let's move on. All right, so now into the nitty gritty of what makes Michael Michael. There's a lot of things that make Michael Michael. And it's gonna be I'm curious to see where you've seen redemption in your life and how that's brought you to working with the brand and everything too. So I guess let's start there. Is there a time in your life that you like when people, because obviously being brand owners of a brand called Redemption Ride, people ask you, what's your redemption story, right? So when people ask you that, are there any moments in your life that you think of, or like good examples, whether it's in school or sports? You played basketball. That's what, if you didn't know that about Michael, he played basketball. Now he coaches basketball. He's just an all-around baller. And it could be school, sports, work nowadays, and where have you seen yourself redeemed? Where have you redeemed yourself in the past?
Okay, well, I think a specific moment right now I'm kind of struggling to pinpoint, but I think throughout my life, whenever there's been a part about myself that I just didn't like, I was always able to change it,
Yeah.
and it's kind of redeeming myself in those things. Like, so for example, in high school, there were some years where maybe I struggled with controlling what I was gonna say. You
Yeah.
know? So maybe I would swear a bit. Maybe I would do something like that. And it's just being able to change and redeem myself in that part. So it's just over time, kind of slowly changing and improving myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, doing that kind of stuff. And I think that if you can't change yourself, but there's still something wrong with you, then that's a place where you need some big growth in, right?
If you can change yourself?
If you can't.
If you can't, yeah. It's huge. You have to, we fail every day. There's always things we can redeem or have redeemed in us. And
Yeah. And I think one of the arguments I have the biggest beef with
share
is
the beef.
when people are like, oh, I'm just made this way, or oh, I'm just
Yeah. Don't believe in change.
yeah, they really they don't believe in change, or they don't believe in
Growth. That's a big one in my opinion.
yeah, growth, but it's a level under that almost. It's they don't believe in
Good in themselves.
maybe, man, maybe I have no idea what the root of it is, but it's just so annoying to hear when people are just when they give up on things because of themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it can be frustrating for sure.
Wait, oh, when you give up on something because of yourself,
Yeah.
it's like that's something you totally have control over. You have
Oh,
100%
sure.
control over yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily like if it has to do with like your physical attributes. If it comes to, like, height, like you can't really change that. But like,
Wear some tall shoes, man.
but there are ways to work around it.
Yeah.
And generally, like for me, I play basketball. I was about 5'10" throughout all of high school. Okay,
All
Man.
of high school.
well, most of it, like,
Interesting.
but like, man, I played center in basketball a lot. Too much for someone who's 5'10". Like,
That's right.
and I was up against people who were
The
like
big man.
practically twice my size. But guess what? I was still grabbing that rebound over their head, man. I was about to dunk it on them, like I wasn't gonna dunk on them. But
But
like,
freaking up there. Bang.
no, but like, it's just making up that's a very light example, but like making up excuses because of yourself or not doing something because of yourself, it makes me so upset.
Like I
'Cause
said
that's-
before, I'm gonna shout out that New Year's podcast. 99% of excuses are bad excuses.
Okay,
No,
buddy.
go watch it if you want to know more.
Yeah, that's my spiel.
I like it, dude. I like it. It's true, dude. There's so much we can control in our own lives. Yep. Well said. There's a lot of opportunities to redeem ourselves. No one out there is perfect. You think you're perfect, you're not. All right, so before you go any further, if you guys have any questions for Michael, want to know more about him, just let us know. Shoot us a message, write a comment. Are you an open book? Ish.
I'd say I'm a pretty open book.
All right, so yeah, ask away.
Yeah.
All right, moving into Redemption Ride. Michael, you have been working with me in the company now since October-ish.
Around.
Yeah. And how do you find it so far?
Good. I think it's pretty fun. I think it's great. Yeah. There's nothing like trying to scale a company with your brother,
Gosh darn right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. All right, number 2. What brought you to the company? What about the company brought you in? How do you resonate with the mission? Do you have any personal vision for yourself with the company or with the company as a whole? Like, what brought you here? Why was it intriguing for you to join up?
That's a good question. I think that the timing was just way too perfect for me. So to give some examples. So this last summer, I was working at a summer camp.
The summer camp you heard about in the last video
Yeah.
there.
And I was having a good time, but I had no idea what I was gonna do.
Life do be like
After-
that sometimes.
I didn't know what I was gonna do after summer at all. And usually you don't know what you're gonna do for the summer, But
Yeah.
me, 'cause I'm not in school, so I was like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do after the summer. I just gotta hope something lines up for me, right? And then this one guy from the old church we went to was like, my parents met him somewhere.
That's right.
And they were talking about me. He's like, yeah, Michael's looking for a job now. And he's like, oh, he can come work for my construction company. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll tell him. That's a cool idea. That was sweet. Like, construction, it's a great job, good pay.
Get a little physical.
Help build the body a bit. Also, like, staying active, which is cool. And he does, like, a lot of various contracts. So it's a lot of different stuff, too, which is fun. Like, I don't think I did the same thing at all when I was working with him. But then, so I got to do that for a little while right after coming from camp. I was like, this is pretty awesome. Then I was planning a trip to go see some friends, too, who live in Alberta, which is, like, on the other side of Canada.
Shout out to
Ben and Avery.
sir.
Yeah. And then the week before I go on that trip, my boss calls me. He goes, "Hey, Michael, as we're moving into the winter season here, I don't have any work for you." I was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "I have, yeah, like if you went to school or want to go to school in construction and want to get a specialty, I'll gladly take you back. But right now, I got nothing for you. Or maybe in the spring, But like for winter, don't got much."
That's tough.
And I was like, "Man, that really sucks," because the way that the job had been presented to me was, "Yeah, come out, try construction. I wanna, like, I wanna like help you and see if something you wanna do. If this is like something you're interested in, like, I wanna work with you, like, and help you like grow." And I was like, "Oh, cool. This guy like obviously wants to do something for like fairly long term." Yeah, no, it was like just over a month. I was like, "Shoot, okay." So then I got laid off from that, and then I went on a trip. And right before I left for the trip, you offered to work with me.
That's right.
And you're like, "Yeah, come. Like, if you want to come work out Redemption, and help me do this. Like, I got some big dreams for Redemption Riot. I got some, and I know that like with some extra hands, we can make it happen so much faster." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that could be fun. Oh no." Yeah, and I was thinking about starting some sort of like side job, and starting that hustle.
Yeah.
So then I went on my trip, and I gave it more thought, and I was just kind of talking over with my friends because they're pretty close to me. We did a lot together. Jacob talked about he did like a youth of the mission in New Zealand, and that's like it's like a Bible school, and they're doing some mission stuff there too. And I did a similar thing, but I went to Egypt and Uganda. And that was I did it with them. I didn't know them before the trip. I just kind of went, and they also did it at the same time as me. And it was just a great thing that God worked out, and it happened that way. It was awesome. Yeah, and we got really close, and so I was just talking about it with them and stuff. And then just one day, I was just thinking about it, and it just felt right,
Nice.
So I said, "All right, let's send it. Let's try doing some Redemption Ride with Jacob." And I bought a laptop while I was up there so I could start working on it. Yeah. Yeah.
It was so
That's
cool.
kind
I
of how
got
I
a
got
text
here.
while I was, I don't remember where I was. He's like, "I'm in," or I don't know what you said. I think it was like, I legit like, "I'm in." I was like, "Hey!" I was
Literally.
celebrating. It was so sick.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So what about the mission? What was it that like, what do you relate with, and why was it something that you feel like you could get behind?
Man. I think it's just a really nice message. The message of redemption is just, it's something that I don't think anybody could really spit on, Like,
Yeah. True.
maybe they could say it's like, "Oh, it's kind of cheesy," blah, blah, blah. But like besides that, like, come on. Like, everybody wants redemption. If ever
Facts.
you've messed up in your life, there's nothing else you're thinking about than to how can I redeem myself.
But it's so crazy that that's like not a thing that people always promote anymore. Like, oh, if you fail, you go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Like, the concept of redemption is lost in many areas of our lives, of our society.
It's true, yeah.
And so, yeah, dude, it's important.
And yeah, so it's just like, it's hard to like, I definitely am so far from disagreeing with the idea of redemption, like it's impossible, right? It's definitely like it's not a hard message to get behind, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say personally there's a couple different things that I kind of resonate with redemption, but I think one of them would be like obviously the redemption that we have through Christ, right? And through like spiritual redemption, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then also like wanting to help redeem people around me.
Yeah.
And
man.
like that whole aspect too is, and just like helping other people also come to the conclusion that the conclusion of how cool redemption is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And just the feeling is just
It's exciting.
It's exciting, and like the feeling, like helping other people experience the feeling of redemption as well.
Yeah.
It's just really big for me. Yeah.
Sick. That's awesome. So cool. And so now coming to where you've come to in life, right? How do you now go about getting over a setback or a failure? What do? You mess up, you're down. What's the next step that Michael's taking to get back up?
I think it might depend on what,
Yeah, for sure.
but typically for me, I'm not too far of a forward thinker.
Okay.
Um,
Live in the moment kind of person.
Yeah, exactly. As I'm not too far of a forward thinker, but I also don't dwell in the past.
Okay.
So I'm very much a living in the present kind of person, and I think that whenever I reach a setback or a roadblock, or kind of like something kind of messes me up,
Yeah.
I guess it really depends on what it is, If it's
Yeah.
something that like genuinely kind of like messed up, like for example, me losing my construction job.
Right.
Okay, that's a bigger thing. So that's me losing my work. It's changing what I was planning on doing for the next couple months or year or whatever, But if it's maybe something a little smaller, then maybe it's something I can just kind of walk over, like not necessarily ignore, but also not really worry about because it's not like too much of a problem. I'm the kind of person to run into a wall until it breaks, for an example.
Okay.
So like if I did something wrong, then I'll try again until it works. You
Okay.
know?
And why? Like, what's your motivation to actually succeed? Where does that come from?
My motivation to succeed.
Yeah. Like to keep on trying.
Man, I have no
I feel like you've
idea.
talked about this in the past, in the last, like a few episodes back. I feel like you talked about.
It's a little different.
Motivate. Oh, it was more like remembering like the good parts.
It was remembering the good times. That was the
Yeah.
motivation to go and do something necessarily.
Yeah, that's right.
But like for motivation to continue trying is a little different for me.
Yeah.
'Cause like if it's something that I really want to work, then I'm going to keep trying,
Yeah.
right? 'Cause usually even the act of trying, cuz if it's something I enjoy, right? Then the act of trying to do it, will bring me enjoyment
Yeah.
and will make
For
it will make me happy, right?
Yeah.
So just trying and continuing and doing that, first of all, it just makes I enjoy it, And then also it's just the outcome, like the feeling of the achievement, is also just sweet, like, so what motivates me to keep trying, I guess it's kind of like the thought of the achievement.
Yep.
And usually it's something I enjoy. And so if it's not something I enjoy and I'm still trying to do it, it's because maybe the achievement brings enjoyment. Maybe it
Maybe
brings
it's not
enjoyment
about
to
joy
somebody
sometimes.
else.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe
Yeah. It could be
That's
even just
something-
about getting better, right? Like sometimes some certain workouts aren't exactly all joyful, but you'll feel better. Like it'll be good either for your body, you'll feel better in the long run. Or hiking up a mountain can be fun,
yeah,
for sure. But sometimes it's hard,
It's all
but
for the view at
you
the
get
top,
there,
right?
You get there for the view. That's it.
exactly.
That's it.
I mean, it's just, it goes behind the motivation of why you do anything at that point, right?
Yeah.
It's like why you do what you enjoy or that kind of stuff.
Because we're able to. I think that's a big thing is like having the mentality of I want to do this and I have to do this and stuff. If you
Mhm.
want to do something, you will do it and you'll do it well. If you have to do something, if you say, oh, I have to go to the gym, dude, you're dragging yourself out. It's not enjoyable. It's not like
It's true.
once you switch that to like from the I have to I want to, any experience, good or bad, is joyful because you want to be there.
Yeah.
God has blessed you with that opportunity and you're excited for it,
And even at that, I believe that everybody can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like,
Whether
the-
it's good or bad is another question, but you
like-
can do whatever you want.
well, yeah, but like, no, but in the sense of, like, because deep down, right, everybody wants to do good.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Yeah. Deep down,
Wow.
everyone wants to do good.
what do you mean everyone wants to do good?
Sometimes.
Definitely some ill
Yeah, but that
motivated
happened because of
people out there.
psychological reasons, right? That messed them up before. But so,
Wow.
and psychologically, they think that what they're doing is good. They've just been really messed up in the head.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think deep down, like, everybody wants to do good. It's just, what their definition of good is. Or they want.
I don't know if
deep
everyone
down,
wants to
everyone
do
wants
good.
to do something that they can enjoy. You know,
Oh, okay, that's different. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone wants to enjoy themselves.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that, like, people who say, like, oh, I have to go do this.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you're saying. Like, people, like, are putting it into more of a practical sense of being, like, your work or your job, being like, yeah, my mom wants me to be a I don't know. I'm trying to think of a kind of lame
The
job.
doctor. No, oh, lame job.
Yeah. So or maybe a course in school where it's like, oh, my mom wants me to take freaking calculus, right? Like, oh, calculus, tough class, right? He's like, oh, I have to take this class even though it's like completely out of my way of what I want to do. It's like, I want to be an actor, but no, I'm taking really hard math classes instead. It's nowhere close to your dream or what you want to do. And you're putting that limiter on yourself.
Yeah.
It's not like, I'm not saying this because, I don't respect this imaginary person's mom, but just like in the sense of your mom also wants to see you succeed, and like it can happen if you just put your mind to it, and if you actually do what you want. And you can do what you want. You shouldn't hold yourself back in those things.
No.
That's just my thought.
There you go. Wise. You guys got some words of Michael of the day, or of the week, or podcast, or whatever you want to call it. But thank you for that. Anything else you want to share about your life, about you? What are 2 things you like, 2 things you don't like?
2 things I like, 2 things I don't like.
To close us off here.
We'll avoid saying things that I've said already, so I won't use peanut butter, something that I like.
All right, yeah. What's something else you like besides
I
peanut butter?
do not like spiders.
That's true.
I don't like spiders.
He's terrified of spiders.
Whoa. I'm not terrified. I'm not terrified of anything.
Right.
I just don't like spiders.
He doesn't.
I like basketball. I know it's said already.
Oh
but
yeah. I don't
I
know.
like
Well, we talked
basketball.
about it. Yeah.
I like driving at night.
Okay.
It's
that's
like
cool.
with the windows down. It's just like
In the summer, not the winter.
Yeah, not in the winter.
Yeah.
But like driving at night in the winter is just like it's such a vibe.
In the
Or
summer.
in the summer,
Yeah.
it's such a vibe.
Okay, driving at night in the summer. What's one thing?
and
Other thing you don't
One
like?
thing I don't like is I don't like it when. Okay, it's gonna get a little specific, but you have to bear
go
with me.
for it.
I don't like it when people like. Well, okay, I like it when people redeem it themselves,
Yeah.
but I don't like it when they don't have anything to remember that redemption with.
Like a symbol of redemption to remember that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
It is pretty sad. Which
Yeah.
brings us to our next point, in the first point of our inside scoop, baby.
Yeah.
So, in order to help you, also, like we obviously love hearing your redemption stories. If there is a story that you've had in your life, or one of our stories made you think of something in your life, please share it with us and stuff. That is why we are here. We want to hear those stories. We want to share those stories, inspire other people to go after the redemption that they are seeking. But to have something to remember that. The beautiful shirts we have here, the newest addition to our collection, are down to their lowest price ever so far at $25. That's Canadian for any Americans on there. And if that's not enough for you, we got a special deal for you. We got 2 for $35. is the price that you can find these shirts at
Did I
now.
hear that right? You said 1 for 25 and 2 for
You
35?
heard that exactly
Holy
right.
smokes, that is a deal of a lifetime.
So if that is of interest, if that is of interest to you, make sure to check the link down in the description below to get your hands on these while they last. I'm looking at the bins right now. Bin's not full, so get yours while they last. And do we have any other inside scoops for the audience?
I think that's about it.
All right, then we're gonna let you guys go on that one. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Have any other last words to the crowd?
Yeah, I do
Or to
actually.
me? 'Cause
Something really important.
Yeah, what's up?
The shirts are 25
Yeah,
and 2 for 35.
yeah, that's a $10.
And if you subscribe to the Inside Scoop in the link in the description below, you get that order for 10% off.
Oh, that's a separate link, but he's not wrong.
So then you can add them together and think about that. You're paying like nothing for a shirt. If
Nothing.
you're paying something for a shirt. But come on, the price is so low. How could you resist? And you'd also, if you subscribe to Inside Scoop, you also get frequent updates too of what's going to be going on with us too.
Everything that we're going on, the future partnerships, the events, the pop-ups. Who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe some more free stuff if you missed the last free stuff we had.
So make sure you check that out.
And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Ciao.
Ciao.